guys, in this video I'm going to do a cloud tutorial. I'm going to show a few different types of clouds that you can make using different brushes and depending on what kind of clouds you want. So I put a simple sky up there already. As you can see, I just covered that little portion with liquid clear, a thin coat of liquid clear, and then I put a little phthalo blue up there and left some spots open, so you don't just have a flat sky. There's some dark spots, some light spots, stuff like that. So first I'm gonna take fan brush. Where is it? Fan brush, and I'm gonna do just some. I'm gonna load it up with titanium white. Both sides, a lot of paint. See, like that. Both sides, a lot of paint. And then you want to come up here and just use the corner and make little circles. Just little circular motions. And try to keep the brush moving so you don't overwork one spot. And if you have to reload, you can do that. And just think about what you want your clouds to look like. But don't get overly concerned. The main thing is that you just keep it flowing, keep the brush moving. And then after you lay one in with the fan brush like that, you take a dry and clean 2-inch brush. The main thing is that it's dry. And then you come up here and you use the corner, and you just, same thing, small circular strokes. You just blend out the bottom. Try not to touch the tops yet. And it can be difficult to know when to stop, so you have a tendency to overwork. But ideally you want areas where there's a lot of paint, areas where there's no paint, and areas where it's light in paint. So after you do that part, after you blend out the bottoms a little bit, then you take this brush and you go up like that, very lightly, just to blend it all together. And you'll see that you're pulling up little stringy things, but that's okay, that's part of it. And don't go straight up, try to go like that, like a circle or a half circle. And then you want to go lightly across, very lightly. So you can see there you have clouds that look pretty decent. Okay, so another way you could do them is you can take a dark color. For example, I'll just mix some black and blue together. Add a little bit of white to it. And then I'll take another fan brush, load it with the dark. You could do this, these clouds, you could do them with the fan brush, these two different things I'm showing. Or you can do them with, the 1-inch. It just depends, really, what you want. And so for this, you could put in some shadows. Same thing, just use the corner. Just think about where where you want the cloud to go. And then, again, you could take your light, so that's essentially putting the shadows in, if you want like more, you know, ominous looking clouds. So you can take your white, and then you can come up here, same thing, little circles, and just pick out where you want your highlights. And then when you reload, you're going to pick up some of that undercolor. So before you go back into your white, you just wipe off the fan brush and a paper towel or something. You load it back up, and you don't, you know, just anywhere that you want highlights. Try to think about just clouds you've seen or ways that you would think to make them look realistic. And you don't want to cover up all the dark, obviously, then there was no point putting it in. But, you know, just keep the brush moving. And something like that. And then again, take your dry, clean 2-inch brush, and you just blend that together lightly. Try not to overdo it. And then the same thing, go up lightly, because you don't want to destroy, you just want to blend it. And then lightly go across. Like that. And you have some more brooding, stormier looking clouds. And then, you know, don't be afraid if you overdo it and all of your highlights go away, you can just go over it again. But just you gotta have a light touch. So then what you can do is you can take a bigger brush, say like the 1-inch, and you can load it through your white like this. Pull it straight down, straight through the paint. And then you can come up here, and same thing, you will use the corner and just think about shapes, cloud shapes, still circular strokes. And then you would blend that out a little bit. And then go up. And then lightly go across. So, and you could do that same thing that I just did with the 1-inch brush. You could do that with the 2-inch brush as well. Other kinds of clouds you can do. It just depends what you want to, you know, those are 3 basic types that, you know, you can use those as like your go-to types. Or you could just come in here and just, you know, sort of, you know, just keep the fan brush moving around, bouncing around, and then, you know, you can blend that out. So there's a lot of ways to do it. You just experiment with it. Just use the different brushes. You could even use the palette knife to make some clouds. The thing is, you just want to keep the brushes moving. Don't keep them in one spot, because then all of your detail and realness goes away. So you just want to keep it moving. You can mix the white with a little bit of red to make it sparkle a little bit more. In this video I used the fan brush, I used the 1-inch brush, I used the 2-inch brush to blend, but you could do them any way you want, and it just takes practice to know how not to overwork them, because the more they'll just disappear, like over here. But it depends how soft you want them, how prominent you want them, and you could do layers of clouds. So you could work on one layer like that, and then you could come in here and put another layer, and then you would do the same thing, blend that layer, go across it, but you want to work layer by layer and save a little of the blue areas, and don't just put them all on top of one another, because then the effect goes away. So I think that's a pretty good start to get anyone started that wants to paint Bob Ross style landscapes and want to get started with clouds and stuff. If you have any questions or need clarification on anything, feel free to comment. Any suggestions, any comments whatsoever. And check out my other videos. I have other painting videos, and I have piano videos and stuff. And like, share, subscribe, all that. I appreciate that, and thanks for watching.